Yeah. What's up? So we back. Um, Dylan, tell me what's going on.
Man, what's going on today is the Jaguars going down sad, sad, sad.
Man, I
And
wish we had the Jags on our schedule.
right, that's a big old fact. But the Vikings trying to get bad, bad, bad in
The
the
Vikings trying to get back to the NFC Championship.
right. They're not trying to, be bad in a bad way. They're trying to get bad, 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 like Young Thug. Man. But the Vikings have traded for young up and coming pass rusher from the Jacksonville Jaguars and Yannick. How do you say his last name? Is it Ngakoue? I don't really know.
Don't
Sorry,
sound ignorant. Just say Yannick.
just Yannick. We'll go with Yannick for this video. Yannick is on the franchise tag, so it really is a good pickup for the Vikings for a couple of reasons. One, he's a good young replacement for Everson Griffin, who obviously is now a Dallas Cowboy. It's a low risk. We know how you feel about them. It's a low risk, high reward deal for the Vikings, and the fact is, the Jaguars are actually going to pay out some of Yannick's franchise tag salary for this year, so they're going to retain about $5 to $6 million of his contract. So it's basically like a 1 year, $11 million deal for the Vikings when you boil it down to something simple. So not a bad 1 year deal for a guy who is 25 and who has had some good numbers in his first couple of years in the league. And then you can re-sign him if you want. Him being
Yeah.
so young, you can re-sign him if you want to. So it's kind of you got a 1 year rental type deal. You can re-sign him to a long-term deal if he works out, and if he doesn't, then you could just move on. So it's a good pickup for the Vikings, and obviously a direct replacement for Everson Griffin. And I think they got a good young replacement. And the Vikings have actually done a really good job really quickly replacing their guys. With Stephon Diggs, they replaced him directly with Tajay Sharp, who doesn't have to be the most productive wide receiver because he's not, because they already got a number one guy in Adam Thielen. Also, Kirk Cousins likes to go to Kyle Rudolph a lot. They also lost Linval Joseph, who was a big piece on their D line. They added Michael Pierce, who has been one of the best run stopping D tackles in all of football the last few years. The only thing they haven't done very well is replace those cornerbacks, so that defensive backfield could be looking a little sketchy for the Vikings. They haven't really found a replacement for Trae Waynes or Xavier Rhodes, who they lost both of them in free agency this past offseason. So the Vikings still have some, questions to answer when it comes to their team, but this was a good start for them.
Yeah, definitely. This was a very good start for them, especially like you said, losing that piece of Everson to the Dallas Cowboys. And what I love about this is Dallas Cowboys went and got Everson Griffin, and you know what? The Vikings bit right back and got somebody.
They
they
take Everson, we'll get Yannick.
Right, they bit right back. And the crazy thing is, when early in free agency, it was so many rumors around Yannick, like, is he going to go to the Cowboys? You
Right.
know, of course, the Eagles wanted him, but we ain't talking about that. Is he going to the Cowboys was one of the questions. So the Cowboys thought they was big, hot, spicy stuff when they grabbed Everson Griffin, but nah, the Vikings had an answer and they grabbed Yannick. And the Vikings and the Cowboys are matching up this season, and it's going to be so interesting to see. You know, you love to see guys playing their old team. It's going to be so interesting to see Everson playing against the Vikings for the first time when he's a Dallas Cowboy. And it's going to be interesting for the Dallas Cowboys to look across the field and see Yannick and see, oh, we could have that piece, but we didn't make it happen.
Exactly. But while it's not all sunshines and rainbows for the Minnesota Vikings, because while Yannick seems like a good piece, there is some questions around his productivity the past couple of years because and shout out to you for showing me this tweet. So we know the Jaguars were, look like they were on the up and up in
Right.
2017. They had 6 Pro Bowlers in Jalen Ramsey, Yannick, Calais Campbell, Malik Jackson, Telvin Smith. They're all gone. But as far as it goes for Yannick, he did have some good help in the backfield in Jalen Ramsey and
That's true.
AJ Bouye, who were at the peak levels of their prime and playing at their best when Yannick was on that Jacksonville Jaguar team. So that helped, if guys is locked up in the backfield and those wide receivers can't get open, that gives more time for the pass rushers to get to that quarterback. And that's exactly what Yannick had. He had more time to get to the quarterback. So in 2017, Yannick had his best season with 12 sacks and 10 tackles for loss. Ever since that 2017 season when the Jacksonville Jaguars made the AFC Championship and they had all that talent, his sack numbers have gone down. So in 2018, 9.5 sacks, 13 tackles for loss. And then this past year, 8 sacks, also 13 tackles for loss. So the sack numbers have been going down since that 2017 season. So that's not a good trend if you're the Minnesota Vikings. But he still has stayed productive because his tackle for loss has gone up since 2017. He had 10 in 2017 and then 13 in 2018 and 2019. So he still has been productive. Not necessarily in sacks, but in tackles for loss, he's still getting the job done and being disruptive in that backfield. So that will be something to look out for to see if Yannick can get his sack numbers up now that he has Linval Joseph and, Michael Pierce. And he still has Danielle Hunter on that other side of the edge for him. So maybe they can kind of he can get those sack numbers up. But again, the Vikings don't have elite cornerbacks right now. They actually lost 2 elite cornerbacks who we haven't really seen the Vikings replace. So that is the one, kind of X factor to see if maybe Yannick was just good when he had good cornerbacks and maybe he's just going to be average. But now that he has, an elite defensive line to run with and rock with, maybe he can get those sack numbers back up. But we'll wait and see.
Yes, that's a good point. Good thing for Yannick, he is still very young. Um, I saw Pro Football Focus was saying now that the Vikings added Yannick, they have 2 pass rushers on their team. I think under the age of 27, and Daniil, it was either under age 27 or under age of 28. I want to say 27. Maybe even under. How old is Daniil? It might even be under 26.
How old Daniil is? I know he's not super old. I know he's still
Yeah.
too much in his prime.
I want to say 2 Pro Bowl pass rushers under the age of 26, in Daniil and Yannick, both on the edge, and that's going to be huge for them. Like you said, it'll definitely be interesting to see what they do with the secondary. But hopefully, those 2 young guys can elevate each other. It's obviously going to be a big miss for them to lose Everson Griffin, but I think that Yannick would definitely be a good compliment for Daniil since both of those guys are young and both of them are hungry and they see these stats numbers too. And they're saying, people are thinking I'm only good when I got a good secondary. They're looking out for that too. And the Vikings definitely interested to see what they do. They going to make any other moves because this is late in the season, late in
Exactly.
off season
Started.
move. Right. And that was a big move. I wasn't even expecting that at all from them.
Yeah, it seemed like Yannick was going to have to maybe fight it out or just hold out for another year until, however many weeks until they could find a trade partner, but they were able to find it right before the season started. So I guess it's good for both parties. The Jaguars did get a conditional pick who could be as high as a 3rd-round pick, but that's the Vikings win the Super Bowl. And even though Yannick is a good pickup, I don't see him winning the Super Bowl, but it could be a 4th-round pick if Yannick is selected to a Pro Bowl as a first ballot Pro Bowl, not an alternate, but still. And also, I just want to correct myself. I said Linval Joseph was still with the Vikings. He's not.
But yeah, it'll be definitely interesting to see how the Vikings shake out if they have any other tricks up their sleeves because the Vikings are one of those teams that keeps getting close, keeps getting close, keeps getting close, and then knocked out. When it's time to make the real impression. So we'll definitely see. Are they going to make another move? Will they make another play? I didn't expect this move, so they can have another trick definitely up their sleeve. Um, I'm glad we don't play the Vikings this season only because they, tore us up.
Tore us up last year too, man. They hit me around a lot last year. It was a sad thing to watch. We played the first game last year. It was tough. I was pissed.
Yeah, so of course Stephon Diggs had one of his best games against us, but I mean our secondary was some buns at that point in the season. It is good. I wish they still had him because now they're playing the Cowboys this season, but hopefully Yannick pokes some holes in that brick wall of a line that the Cowboys have.
Exactly. And I also want to bring up one more thing. This Yannick deal could also affect their most important piece in most important piece on offense too, and Dalvin Cook, because if Yannick balls out for the Vikings this year and they want to sign him to a long-term deal. The Vikings don't got that much cap space, and they already been trying to work out a deal with Pro Bowl running back Dalvin Cook this offseason, but them talks kind of came to a halt. So, maybe this deal could, if Yannick balls out and they decide they want to try and keep Yannick and sign to a long-term deal, this could play out to where they have to make a choice. Do we keep the running back who kind of carries our offense? He had 250 rushes this year, played in 14 games, over 1,100 yards and 13 touchdowns.
Wow.
Keep the star on defense if he balls out. So that could make a big decision for the Vikings this next offseason too.
Okay, yeah, we definitely gonna be locked in. We're getting closer and closer to the season, guys. We keep getting sprinkled with little stuff here. First, we had the Everson move late, then we had Earl Thomas late. Now we got another little nugget with Yannick. So hopefully, we get 1 or 2 more gems before the season starts, so we can stop talking about boring training camp stuff and get talking about real monster moves.
I'm ready, man. I'm just really ready to talk about some real on the field football too. My palms is itching.
Right. Itching. But thank you guys so much for watching this video. Of course, we're in our breaking news setup. Whenever we get these news that we got to get off quick, y'all probably would see us on Skype because we got things to do. We be working.
We got grind.
So make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. I should have said that earlier, but if you made it to this part of the video, do your duties, do your chores, like, comment, subscribe.
Watch this long, obviously you want to see more, so subscribe. Bye.
No,